No, I want more death. Death trope is beautiful. It just adds flavor. It's always about the heroine. But what about the villain? Let's see more darkness. Today we're doing like a camouflage. I'm like blending into the wall. I'm always surrounded by whiteness. Literally, I go to a predominantly white school. Hi everyone, I'm Hayley. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a part 2 of one of my favorite videos to film, honestly, and that is things that I want in books. And I'm not talking about just tropes because that's easy. I can just say friends to lovers and we would be done. Like that's it. That's all I need, you know? Today I wanted to do a bit more. Last time I talked about platonic soulmates and male-female friendships that don't ever end up being more than just friends. So I wanted to kind of add on to that list. Last time it was really easy for me to come up with things, and now for some reason I struggled. Also for some reason I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt and it's like 90 degrees. So we make choices. Bad choices. I want to start off by saying a disclaimer. These are just my opinions. I don't expect everyone to agree with me or to want what I want. I just think that this is fun, you know, to just share our interests. And I think last time I had a lot of people agreeing with me, which was fun, but also I feel like the list is getting a bit more specific to me now, so I don't know if you guys will agree with me. But let's see. Let's find out. All right, so I'm going to start out with the first thing that is the most important to me. I mean, I'm kind of kidding, but not really. Death. I want more death in books. This applies mostly to certain genres. Fantasy, for example. If you are having danger in your books, it doesn't make sense for everyone to come out unscathed. It makes even less sense for everyone to survive a huge war. How does that happen? I hate it when authors try and say, oh my god, things are so dangerous, and then everyone lives. No, because then things weren't that dangerous. No, I want more death. Death trope is beautiful. It just adds flavor. And every time I say this on Twitter, people say I need therapy. Listen, I already go to therapy. Nice try. I just think that it makes more sense. It's more realistic and it's more satisfying, especially if you have a character sacrificing themselves. Death trope hits even more when it's the couple. They be like, I love you, I'll see you soon, or I'll see you afterwards, and then they don't see each other afterwards, and it's like, oh girl, I'd be crying. And that's what I want. I just want a book to make me feel everything. And I just think that death is a great way to do that, because here's the thing. Death, yes, it is sad when a character that you love dies. But you know what's devastating? When a character that you love is dealing with the death of someone that they love. Seeing a character that you love go through it, oh my god. Now that is hard. I feel like we don't see it enough. I'm like, yeah, I want to see a main character die because I feel like that doesn't happen a lot. But I also love to see a love interest or a family member die because if we see a character at rock bottom, we really see so much of that character. I just think that them experiencing something is so important to an arc. And I think that it adds so much dimension to a story. So I know I talk and I joke about death trope, but I think that it is so useful. And I think that it is incredibly impactful when done well in books. And that's why I want more of it. I think a lot of authors are afraid of it because they don't want to kill their characters because they love their characters, and it is like a super permanent thing to do. And if your characters are really, really valuable in a story, which they should be if you're a good writer, they should all have a purpose in the story, and killing them should have a big impact. And I think that that's a good thing because it means that you've created a very strong, influential character. I think that you should not be afraid to feel things. I say as the least vulnerable person ever because I am afraid of feeling things because I hate opening up to people. Is this why I like death trope? Because I want to feel things, because I never allow myself to feel. There's a lot to unpack here. That's one thing that I want to see. The next thing that I want to see in books is, you know, a little bit more lighthearted because, you know, we got to balance these things out. So that being said, the next thing that I want to see more of in books is single dad love interests. Where did this come from? You might be wondering. It came from Tessa Bailey, Tools of Engagement. The man doesn't even have to be a dad. He could be an uncle. He could be a guardian of a small child. There's just something about it, guys, because you know I love that trope where a super tough guy is only soft for his girl or that one person that he loves. It's 10 times better when he has a daughter or someone that he has to take care of, and then he also has a love interest and he's like willing to bring another person into his life because you know that's so risky, because he doesn't want to hurt the small person or child that he's taking care of because he knows that it's so impactful to bring someone else into her life. Like, it just makes me so soft. The single dad love interest, I want more of it. There's just something about a big tough guy being soft for just very select people. It just makes the romance and the chemistry so good. So good. I feel like this is such a specific one. Like, I mean, I did tweet this and some people were like, yeah, I also am into that. Like, I want more of that, but not enough. Not enough of y'all were backing me up. So make some noise in the comments if you're into the single dads and romance books, because I want that too. Oh my God. Okay. I figured out something else that I want, and that is more animal companions / sidekicks, because in The Bone Char Daughter by Andrew Stewart, one of the point of views, like one of the main characters who has a point of view, he has this little animal sidekick and his name is Meffy. I think that's how you say it. His name is Meffy. And he's like this creature. You don't really know what he is, but he's like this little creature and you watch him grow throughout the book and it's so cute. And I just love the little animal sidekick. It's like having a best friend, you know, it's an animal, so it's a different kind of relationship. I just love animals. That's really what this all boils down to. I used to write books about animals, literally from the point of view of animals. I used to write books. I was a Warriors cat stan, okay? Like you expect it at this point. Don't be surprised. I love animals, so when they're put in books, and I don't just mean like, oh, the character has a dog. No, I mean an animal sidekick. You know, in Avatar: The Last Airbender and also The Legend of Korra, how she has like that giant polar bear dog. Why am I blanking on the name? And then Appa. Oh my God, I just love it so much. I just love animals. I love when animals are a big part of the story. And when they save their human and their best friends, and the human is like, I love you so much, and they have just a special bond. I love it. I just love platonic soulmatism in all its forms, and I wish there was more of it. So first we have the best friends, the human best friends, and now we have the animal and human best friends, because I want more of it. Well, I was gonna say, I think Daenerys and her dragons, but it's a bit different because those are like her children. But dragons are cool. But I just want more animal sidekicks, because it's like so expected that a character has a relationship with a human, and I do think that they can be so complex because it's like you're expected to be nice to someone, but then there is so much drama between relationships, and there always can be so much conflict that comes out of human relationships because everyone has, you know, conflicting emotions and everyone wants to be honest, but then it gets so complicated. But with animals, it's like all they want to do is love you. And then for people, it's like they just need that love, and it's just so cute and it's so pure. And I think that's why I love them so much. I want more animal companions and sidekicks. Bonus points for sidekicks when they actually help the character out in situations. Oh my God, when the animal is like trained and can go fetch things like weapons, or can go like get things to help the character, or they like work together to beat the bad guy. Oh my God, it's so cute. I know it's giving very much Disney, Pixar, little kid animated movie, but like we all love those, okay? It's just a part of me that I love, okay? So I just sometimes, you know, we go from death and violence to cute, fluffy little animal relationships. We need that versatility. We need that range here, because I can't be all death and violence, you know? Sometimes we need the cute stuff. Sometimes we need to be healthy. Sometimes we need to have a good, healthy mind, okay? Okay, so the next thing that I want to see more of in books is a corruption arc. I want to see less good characters and more bad characters. I want to see a good character go bad. I want to see a character join the dark side. You know how so many times in books characters will go through a lot of awful things, and that'll make them want to make the world a better place and to heal and to become better? I want to see the opposite. I want to see a character that gets so beaten down. I want to see a character that gets so beaten down they start to hate everything, and they just decide that they are against the world because the world is against them. The world has never given them a break, so they're gonna go and they're gonna kill everyone, kill everything. They're gonna wreak havoc and they are gonna go off. I just want to see that corruption, you know? I want to see them get so sick and twisted and just beaten down by these terrible things that have happened that they go bad, they become evil, and they switch to the bad side. I want to see that. It's always about the heroine, but what about the villain? What about the villain? Let's see more darkness. The next thing / last thing I want to see is Saffix. I want more romance fantasy, but with Saffix. I want like explicit Sapphic sex. I feel like a lot of sapphic relationships are depicted in the same way. Like a lot of times they are soft and they don't have a mean or violent bone in their body. Women are constantly being told to fit this mold of like being gentle, maternal, and soft. And so I feel like sapphics automatically kind of fall into that category. So sapphic relationships a lot of time are just soft. And I feel like that is probably part of the reason. And also just because there's not a lot of representation. I mean, at least compared to heterosexual relationships, there just needs to be more like hardcore sapphic doing thing. I feel like a lot of fantasy romance, you know, when you think of like spicy fantasy romance, a lot of it is like heterosexual heterosexual, like Akatar from Blood and Ash, but I want to see the Saffix side of that. And I want to see Saffix not just being soft. I want to see evil Saffix. I want to see murderous Saffix. I want to see villainous Saffix. I want to see hardcore Saffix smuts. You know, not everything has to be gentle and soft with these ladies. They can be rough. They can be violent. Okay? Don't be afraid to give women range. It's really giving No Body, No Crime by Taylor Swift. That's what I want. I want a Sapphic story that is No Body, No Crime by Taylor Swift, but in book form, with Sapphics being murderous and violent and having no regrets. And we have made it to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want in books. I think I've already mentioned this, but I want multiple love interests and I want more conflict. This is kind of hard to explain, so I'm just gonna say romance. And this is actually inspired by a tweet that I saw by Monet from Life is Monet. And she basically said that she enjoys romance in fantasy books more than in actual romance books. I feel the same way. And I'm trying to figure out why. And I think it's because usually fantasy books are series, so you have more time with the characters. And I mentioned this in my last video where I said I want to see the characters actually be together and I want multiple love interests if there's going to be like a bunch of books, because I actually want to see the romance and the characters evolve and develop together. I mean, I feel like I feel the same way as Monet, because in fantasy not all of the focus is on the romance, so there's no like burnout or boredom when it gets them, like because you have time to focus on other things like the politics or the world building or like the magic, whatever's going on in the fantasy book. But if it's just a romance book, the focus of the book is on the romance, which obviously I know that's the point of a romance, but that's what I'm saying. I like romance better when it's on the side. And that's why I like romance in fantasy books, not necessarily fantasy romance books or romance fantasy, whatever you call it. Romance in fantasy. I don't even want the romance to be half of the book. I want it to be like a side dish. I want the fantasy to be the main meal, but the romance to be the side. I just think that when there's too much focus on the romance, it becomes less special, because then you're expecting it, you're anticipating it, and there's no yearning or wanting for more because you're already getting everything. There's no desire, there's no tension because you already have it. And so I think that that's why when there's just a side of romance, it really is about the yearning. The slow burn is so slow. You're rooting for more scenes of this couple together because there are so few of them, and it just every single time they leave you wanting more because there's not enough. And that's why slow burn is superior, because you're always gonna want more, and there always is gonna be more coming because it's slow burn. You don't have to worry about when they get together, things are gonna get boring. You know what I mean? Even though personally I believe that when a character gets together with their love interest, things won't be boring. And that's why, here's my next point, when a character does get together, that's their final love interest or whatever, I think that there should be more conflict between them, and I think that we should still see them continue to grow together. I can understand why it would get boring for people after a couple gets together, because then it's like, where's the chase, where's the tension, you know, they're already together. But I think that it's natural for a relationship to have conflict, so I think that, you know, you can still keep things interesting. And that's why it's so much more fun to read romance in a fantasy book, because there are always things keeping the characters apart even after they get together. You don't have to worry about things getting boring. And that's it. That's the last thing that I wanted to add. Yeah, so those are the things that I want in books, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. And comment down below if you agree with these things, or let me know what else you want in books. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time with another video. Bye.